Hello, everybody. So I'm here with my week 4.5 check-in. So a lot of really interesting things happened in this last week and a half. Sorry, I'm a little late. I did want to celebrate my Yule celebration, which is one of the holidays of the Wheel of the Year. So uh, let's see. That's not related, but yeah. Let's put this all the way over here so it's separate. Okay. Yeah, so I would have checked in already, but I was celebrating Yule. If you guys don't know what the Wheel of the Year holidays, I highly recommend you go check that out so you can really use your energetic working and cleansing at the right times of the year. Because the reason why we do Wheel of the Year holidays is because it's mathematic and natural energies that you are working with during a specific time. So, energy working, when you're working with energy, when you're working with your spiritual vibration, you need to wait for the position of the planets, like in the seasons. And that's going to be aligning you and making things correct, okay? So, yeah, say for example, you can't start a garden in the middle of the winter because nothing is going to grow. That's why we do Wheel of the Year holidays, because it just naturally, it's very natural, okay? This is all natural. Working with energies is natural. You want to be in your natural energy so you can become healthier, so we can have more positive outcomes, so we can have more positive results to our manifestations and healing work. And you need to do that on a natural time of year where it's supposed to be happening. So that's the best way to explain that. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty long video. I have a lot of updates. So I haven't found any parasites yet, not that I've noticed, but I really haven't been looking too hard on that one. Sorry. Um, so I haven't been meditating that much, but I've been practicing, over the past week. I've added 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes over the week. The goal is to get to 2 hours. Of course, you need to remember to meditate on the compass, red, orange, yellow at the south, then green, and then halfway through green, turn around, blue, indigo, violet at the north. Okay, sleep with your head at the north and feet at the south. Okay. Another really interesting thing is that meat is actually starting to smell pretty bad. I was pretty surprised. At the week 4 mark, you start to see noticeable changes, and you're like, "Wow, I can't believe this is working. I can't believe like I'm actually changing myself on the inside." Um, so yeah, that's it's starting to smell pretty bad. There are a few times where I actually like had to go get fresh air, but usually it's not that bad. Like you can be around it, but it's not like it's just like a wow moment, okay? Like wow, I didn't expect that to happen. So, I also haven't been getting any nightmares. So, a lot of my dreams have been like really clear and really vivid, but they're not like nightmarish. The further down the weeks that I was getting like more positive dreams, like hugging my friends and hanging out with people and collaborating and like funny things happening in my memes. Like I had a dream last night actually where I was hanging out with a group of friends and we all thought it was funny to wear matching outfits, and we all like went out and went to a party, and like before I was vegan, I was getting a lot of really horrible nightmares, like things that were really freaking me out. A lot of spiritualists say that those are like demonic entities trying to infiltrate the mind. And when you're not eating meat, it doesn't really happen anymore. Um, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But except like the only thing that I did like about my nightmares is that like they were really creative and they were really artistic, but they definitely did freak me out. Like I wasn't happy. Like some of them I was like I knew something like weird and supernatural was going on after that, and I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with it because like I know it's cool to like think of it like, oh, this is an artistic movie that was cool, but it still makes you feel so uneasy that where it's like not okay. But like I don't know, especially like when you have like to work and like you have things to do the next day. It's probably just more inconvenient than it is cool and mysterious. So I would prefer more of like the more positive dreams and a steady night's sleep. Okay. So another thing, when you are telling your friends or whatever, or like even people in general like will ask you, oh, like what's going on, or maybe you want to like make a post about it. Um, or like okay, say on social media, your friend or like somebody like on your list, like they're complaining about having some type of problem, and it's like I've been practicing this for long enough to be like, okay, well, this is pretty nice. I feel pretty good. Maybe you should try it. And people get really upset, okay? Because this is just one of those things that you need to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to actually understand the real way to do veganism. Yeah, people will ask you like, hey, what have you been up to? And I'm like, I'm really interested in this thing right now. I'm changing my diet right now. I want to see how it works. And people like get really aggressive when you mention veganism. Okay, people get really rude. People get really aggressive towards you. And I know there's like a lot of people that really hate vegan people, sorry, and they don't believe it. They don't want to believe that they're actually doing something really good for themselves. But, considering how I felt over the past few weeks, and I have like another follower, I have a follower that actually messaged me directly on my Discord, and he was like, hey, I saw your videos, and I'm alkaline vegan too. I know I've been doing this for 2 years. I have the messages right here, and I'll go over them in a minute. But like, it's insane how rude people are, but they don't want to do it and see for themselves, which I think they should. Or like, okay, so when you're doing like real veganism, it's people just think vegan is like don't eat meat, don't eat cheese, and that's it, and then you can have whatever you want. They don't understand the minerals, they don't understand the teas, they don't understand like specific things that take a long time to go over. Like, it takes a lot of time to learn things. It does. And people don't want to like take the time to learn it. So, yeah, there's a lot of people who hear the word vegan and they automatically think this is stupid, this is garbage, I don't care, and I'm going to start being rude to this person. And that's just what happens. And I'm pretty sure that's what the government wanted too. Um, and they're not going to take the 10 hours it took. Like, when I was like making my first video to explain the whole thing, that took 2 hours. Every check in video takes like at least an hour each, okay? So, understanding and learning how to properly do real veganism, not just like lazy vegan, but like real veganism, Dr. Sebi, alkaline, special restrictive, tea vegan, okay? It's different and it takes a really long time, and people are lazy, and people are really attached to the way greasy foods and cheese taste. Okay, so it's one of those things like before I started veganism, I got myself like a pizza to say goodbye, right? Like I got myself a whole pizza. I'm gonna have this pizza and then I'm gonna go vegan just to say goodbye. I just wanna say goodbye to it. And so, yeah, it tasted pretty good going down. But after a few slices, like, I started to get a bit of a tummy ache. But that's the thing. People are so attached to, like, it tastes so good. It's so hot. It's so greasy. I love it. But, like, when it gets into your stomach, I was like, ooh, I feel bad now. Like, but people don't want to let go of that. That's the part where eating unhealthy foods really messes with you. And same thing with sugar and all that stuff, like refined sugar, like cane sugar. You're not supposed to have cane sugar. You're supposed to have like fruit sugar. You're supposed to like have sugar from natural fruits, or like date sugar or coconut sugar. Not like cane sugar is the worst, right? But it tastes so good that people don't understand what it's like doing once it gets past the mouth. All right? And people get very aggressive and very protective over that. But that's what the government wants, to control you. Okay? That's what these medical companies want to do to you, to control you, so you don't actually have good health. So they can keep making money off of your surgeries, off of your treatments, off of all the pills that they want to prescribe you that they don't need to, because cheesy potatoes taste really good, but once it gets in your stomach, you kind of start to have a stomach ache. But if anyone told you that the truth of that, if I were to like sit there and like tell somebody that, they would get angry. They would get very angry at me for saying that. Okay? And that's what people really need to get past. So yeah, my skin is starting to clear up and my skin is less itchy than before. I feel a lot more confident in the way I look. Um, and I'll go deeper into that in the next couple slides. So yeah, a follower of mine was nice enough to share his experience with alkaline veganism, and he gave me 2 PDFs of a cookbook. That was really amazing. Thank you. And let's see. Yeah, he gifted me some cookbooks that were digital, so that's really awesome. I will put the links in the description so you can like go get them as well, because those are pretty good books. They have like a few. Actually, there was a gingerbread recipe in there that was pretty good, and the reason why I didn't post yet is because I was doing my Yule celebration, which is the Wheel of the Year holiday. And so, yeah, I made the gingerbread cookies, alkaline vegan gingerbread cookies, and they were pretty good. I made a test batch one time, and those were perfect. And then I made them again, and they didn't turn out as good. I don't know what I did different, but those were really good. But yeah, he said, "Hey Morgie, I've been watching your videos on real veganism and fasting. Funny enough, when I saw your first video, I was finishing up a fast. I've been doing alkaline veganism for about 2 years now, and it changed my life. I wanted to share this with you as I think it'll be something you could gain value from. These recipes are great, and I've cooked a few of them, can vouch for how great they are. Anywho, I think you're doing a great job with everything. Keep up the good work, Morgie." And I said, "Thank you. And how did this change your life?" And he said, "In terms of life changes, my overall health has significantly improved. I used to experience allergies, congestion, and excessive mucus, but now those issues are almost non existent. I rarely get sick, and my bathroom visits have been more regular. I have a consistent energy throughout the day, even on days with insufficient sleep. I don't feel the need to take a nap. Moreover, my mental health and clarity have notably improved since adopting an alkaline vegan diet, although daily meditation may also contribute to this positive change. An unexpected outcome of embracing this diet is the improvement in my willpower. I find it easier to control not only my food cravings, but also other vices like lust and substances. Additionally, while it might be a broader topic, I suspect that there are numerous karmic benefits associated with this lifestyle. So, thank you to one of my followers. His name's Tyler. So, thank you so much for gifting me those cookbooks and giving your experience. That was really awesome. And I'll put the links to those cookbooks in the description so you can get them too. I like them. I've tried them. They're pretty nice. All right. Still like a few things that I would change though about them, but they're a little better than the first one. Okay. So I started my period. It's not supposed to happen right now, but I did throw off my period one time because I had to take Plan B. That makes you bleed early, but I wanted to be responsible. That's personal though. But the past few months before I took Plan B, every period has been on the full moon. So next month, it's like pretty close right now. I know the full moon is happening in a few days. But next month, we're going to be right on time with my period. Of course, it's a good thing to understand that the male hormone goes with the sun and the female hormones go with the moon. So, this is a big part of alkaline veganism. This is a very big part of the practice is regulating and resetting your hormones. Your hormones are pretty delicate, and if you are not like taking care of your hormones properly, you can experience a wide variety of health problems and mental illness. Your thyroid gland, it's very important to keep that thing healthy and regulated. I know, like, before I was vegan, my periods were really, really awful. I was debilitated for days, and it was just very difficult for me to go through those things. And I didn't want to be on the pill. I didn't want to have shots or anything like that. I wanted to find a more natural way of healing myself because people in my life have tried pushing me. They've tried to like push me to take medications um, and get all these like and go to the doctor a bunch and get all these synthetic treatments. And they were like pushing that on me and I kept refusing. No, 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 no. I'm not going to take synthetic medications. I want to be able to find a way to have a better herbal remedy, a more natural remedy. And they always were so disrespectful towards me for that reason. But I had this deep inner intuitive feeling, you need to try an herb. You need to try eating healthy. You need to try exercise. You should try herbs and fruits and vegetables, right? Try something natural. Try drinking more water. Whatever it is, just anything natural. I don't want to be taking all those nasty synthetic medications that were made in a lab. And I had this like intuition, like this intuitive thing inside of me that told me you should do herbal treatments. You should be natural. You shouldn't take those. Cuz I knew that it would mess me up. I knew it wouldn't be good for me. Cuz there was one time where I tried antidepressants and I just felt really weird. Like I just had this weird like uneasy feeling about it. I'm like, no, I'm not like, yeah, it feels good in my head for the way that the medication works with the receptors. Yeah, it feels good, but there's just something not right about it. Like my stomach didn't feel right about it. Anyways, so this part was really unexpected for me. I didn't expect my period to like feel this way. Um I got really emotional. I got really happy too. Like my periods used to be so hard for me. They were super painful. Like I couldn't move. Like I really had a hard time. And so this was like a really life-changing thing for me, especially as a girl. Um, so yeah, I was able to sync up my periods on the full moon, but they were still pretty bad. But when I changed the diet, they weren't as bad as usual. I got a pretty bad migraine the day before I started bleeding. Of course, I didn't take any Tylenol or anything like that. I tried sensory deprivation, and of course, using copper jewelry or a copper triangle. That's going to help you naturally get rid of a headache or a migraine. So use like copper or like a healing frequency, like 432 hertz. I'm pretty sure that's it. And then some sensory deprivation or like trying different positions. That helps. Like I have to like instead of taking a nap, like I would like be on my feet and like try to do something or like be in the shower, and that took care of it, and it went away. And then the next day like I started bleeding. But yeah, never take Tylenol, never take any of those over the counter painkillers. Don't take them. If you can, like, yeah, if you can, just like try anything except for that. So, another thing that kind of I think would also contribute to a migraine was like I would drink too much tea or I would drink too much fluids or like water. And when you're doing this kind of practice, it's really easy to drink too much fluid. So, you need to like not overdo it. Try not to like drink because you're bored. Because yeah, you could overhydrate yourself, and that would also contribute to a migraine. So be careful with that. So let's see. The bleeding doesn't hurt nearly as bad as normal. It's actually like very faint. Like there were times where like this was insane. I'm finishing up my period right now, but over the past few days, I've just like I've been amazed. I've been shocked on how well this is working. Um, so the bleeding doesn't hurt as bad. So there were times where I was getting cramps, and I'm like, wow, you call that a cramp? That's it? Like really? And another thing that I noticed is that my thighs, like usually my legs feel like they're getting cut off when yeah, usually on my period, like I would need to like massage my thighs, massage my legs, and they felt really sore, really painful, really bad, but that's not happening this time, and I can actually like get up and walk around and move and do things. And I was just shocked because I started bleeding while I was at work, and I'm like, no, usually when I'm on my period at work, like I'm debilitated. I need to go lay down. I need to go home. I'm like getting these hot flashes. I'm like seriously, I like usually I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. It hurts. I want to go home. Like this is horrible. But this time I was like, I was actually smiling, and my legs didn't feel like they're getting cut off. Like I could move around, I could do things, I could smile, I could like I wasn't passing out. Like I could like it was so weird. But like yeah, it I was like in a very positive mindset. Usually I'm not, but I was getting like super happy and like emotional, like happy crying a little bit, like on the inside. I was like, wow, I cannot believe I actually feel this good and I'm on my period. Like, this is a period. This is a period. I cannot believe this. I actually feel good. Like, naturally, I'm not taking a bunch of nasty medications. I'm not taking synthetic medications. Like, if you're a girl and you struggle with this, like, you would know. So yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually feel good. I'm not asking to go home early. I'm not about to pass out. And I was like actually positive. Like it was weird. Like this doesn't happen, right? But yeah, I got so like I was gonna happy cry. I got so happy, and my mood swings, yeah, they weren't extreme. It was faint. Yeah, there were times where I was cramping up, and I'm like, that's it. That's all I'm going to cramp. It just like it was a little pinch. It wasn't like the big lemon squeezing feeling that I usually get. Like yeah, usually it feels like you're squeezing in a lemon, but this time it was like a little pinch. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like I actually can't believe it. So that's the part that was really surprising for me this time. I can't wait for next month so we can see if it really reduces that much again, because this is the first period on veganism. So yeah, we have some pretty good results right there. Um, so before I started bleeding, I went 33 hours with no eating. I had a full 33-hour fast, which is like a day and a half, I think. Yeah, like roughly a day and a half. And that was the longest I've gone fasting. And it felt pretty good. Like, I only decided to break the fast and eat because I started bleeding. But yeah, the whole time I didn't feel like eating. Like, I don't want to eat right now. I don't feel like it, you know. Um, I wasn't like hungry or anything. I wasn't. I was pretty surprised about that. I'm like, wow, I feel pretty good. Like, I'm not I'm not feeling like my brain wasn't malfunctioning either. Usually when like you're really hungry, like you're just like, oh, I can't think right now. I can't talk correctly right now, but like no, I felt pretty good. I was pretty surprised about that. I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm not my brain isn't like malfunctioning. Like I can still think critically. I can still like I can still do this. Like I can still have full conversations. I can like I know what I'm doing, right? Like I'm still here. I'm still here, but I haven't eaten in so long. Like how is this happening? It was pretty interesting. It was pretty cool to have that happen. I haven't eaten in so long. Like how can I still have a conversation with someone? How do I still know what's happening around me? Like I'm completely there. I'm all there. I'm aware. Like I'm there. So but yeah, it was pretty good. And I'm like, I'm not even that hungry. I guess I'll break my fast just because like I'm bleeding. I'll take it easy on myself right now. But yeah, like that was pretty interesting. I was like, all right, this is a little crazy. This feels weird, right? This is it's good. And it made me smile. My waist was looking pretty thin. I felt really good about my appearance. I'm like, wow, look at my waist, right? Like I have like a really tiny waistline now. I feel good. I look good. Yeah, I was feeling pretty confident too. Um, so, something that I've noticed is that you are a lot more sensitive to energies. And um, for those who actually practice spirituality, you would know what I'm talking about. Each zodiac sign comes with its own type of energies. So, people who read tarot cards, specific tarot cards are assigned to different zodiac signs. So, they all have their own type of energy, like fire energy, water energy, earth, air, and then like the specific signs like okay, well, the lovers is Gemini energy, you know, those things. So that's how we read tarot. That's how we pick up on energies and be able to know what's really happening and know the truth. And that's how we use tarot. But you are able to pick up these energies. You're able to sense energies a lot easier. But you're better at protecting yourself against the negative energies, okay? Any of like the devil energy, it's like associated with Capricorn, but that doesn't mean Capricorn is devil. It's a long thing. If I won't go over the whole thing, but it's like these signs have a deeper understanding of what these negative energies are. Like Scorpio and Capricorn, Scorpio is death, Capricorn is devil energy, but that doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that these signs have a better understanding of what they are. So you're able to protect yourself against them a little easier. Um, it is ideal to spend time with people who are also vegan with no addictions because if I pick up on people's energies who are not vegan and maybe they have addictions of some kind, you can pick it up and you can tell. Except for like matcha, matcha is okay. Um, Having matcha tea is actually okay without sweeteners, without sugar, without date sugar, without plant milk, without um, maple syrup. You can have matcha tea plain without any sweeteners, no milk. Well, only while you're fasting. When you're not fasting, you can have like a latte or something like that, but it's a little bitter. But caffeine teas, some caffeine teas are okay just by itself. Um, you can check the Celestial Tablet for reference, link in the description. So yeah, I think like Earl Grey tea was okay too, I think. But yeah, so when you're fasting like that, you can like have tea in the morning to get you started, which I was pretty worried about. I'm like, can I still have matcha green tea? Like, can I still have caffeine? Because how am I supposed to like actually get up and go? Like, how am I supposed to wake up? But you can have it, just no sugar, no maple syrup, no plant milk, just plain by itself tea, okay? Because that's gonna break your fast. Okay. These are not my final thoughts actually. So these are some other thoughts. Um, I gave up on extreme fasting at the beginning, so it's pretty hard to jump right into fasting. So I would recommend that you start switching your diet over first, and then once you're more comfortable with the diet, you can start fasting. So I would be eating whatever I wanted whenever I wanted, um, for like a few days or maybe like a week. And then I would start doing fasting when I felt right. Okay, so maybe you want to eat whatever whenever for like a week. And then after like it's kind of like when you feel like it. It's better when you do it like when you're not forcing yourself to do it and when you're doing it naturally. Yeah, so whenever you feel like, whenever it feels right for you. Um, but try to stay on it. After you feel right about it, you should stay on it. You should try. Yeah, my skin is healing slowly. You can tell it's like starting to heal at this point. It's not it's not all the way perfect yet, but I will let you know when I start feeling perfect. I'm really keeping an eye on that to see like how long it takes exactly. For people with addictions, trust me, I used to be a smoker. I used to enjoy, a little drinking here and there. I liked it. I really did. It was really nice for me. But it was a very like up and down feeling. Sorry, hold on. I need to adjust myself here. I've been sitting on my feet. So, with people with drugs, with addictions, yeah, sorry. You're not supposed to say that, but it's like, how else are we supposed to learn, anyways? Censorship is bad sometimes, man. Anyways, yeah, like trust me, I get it. I love partying with my friends. I would love that. Um, and I would love to indulge, but it's it's hard. It's like very up and down, and it's pretty expensive. Um, so when I changed my diet, when I started taking the teas, it's mainly in the tea, okay? This part is mainly in the alkaline tea, which the link is in the description. I have all the links to everything that I'm using, all the supplies in the description, so you can use them and look at them. But like it's like similar taking to antidepressants. It's yeah, the tea is like an antidepressant, which I have like a interesting story. Um, I think it's one on the other slides coming up, but yeah, the tea is like an antidepressant. It actually like is a placeholder for any of those addictions that you may have. Smoking and drinking and going out and with your friends. I know it's good. I like it a lot. And of course, I yeah, I come from that community, right? I loved doing that. It was like a social thing, right? But like I would say that the tea is actually kind of better because it's more of a consistent release of like good hormones, and it's not like up and down and like, oh, I can't wait for the next smoke, I can't wait for the next puff, like I need another, I need another. It's like it's not like that. It's steady. And it helps like with the cravings as well, because there was, I think it's in the other slide, but like I'll go over it again when we get there. But yeah, there was like one day, I think yesterday actually, I decided not to have the tea, but I was still vegan, right? Like I just started I'll skip the alkaline tea today. Today I'm gonna skip my alkaline tea, and I was having insane cravings for nicotine. I wanted nicotine so bad. I was like, come on, we'll just run over to the store. But I'm like, wait, I haven't had my tea. So I had my tea, and then all of a sudden the cravings completely went away. That was pretty insane for me because I'm like, wow, I really like smoking. So that was pretty big. Like these are all really big noticeable changes that like you need to try it for yourself. You really need to try it for yourself because you're not going to believe it either, but it's working. I didn't. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. And I'm like, wow, really, 33 hours fasting, and like, I don't want to. I don't want nicotine. It. This is crazy. This is a little. This is a little crazy. People underestimate how badly they need to heal. So like people as like a collective, like the collective of society, um, people really underestimate this. They're like, oh no, this seems boring. It's like kind of gray. Or like veganism is cringe, right? But it's not. Like, if you actually practice it and you're like, whoa, this is cool. Like, if you guys are like real nerds, think about it. If you think about it in a way that's like changing your perspective in the way that's like, no, this, if you're doing this makes you a real nerd. You're not like dumb. Like, this actually makes you smart. Like this makes you a real nerd. This makes you real smart. It's not boring. It's not like it's not just for hippies. It's not just for like people who have dreads in their hairs and like wear tapestries, right? No, like this is it. Like if you actually tried it, you would be like, "Whoa, whoa, this is cool." Cuz that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." I can, like really 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 like I love smoking. Like what do you mean? I love I love hitting the vape or whatever. Nah, I like smoking. This isn't real, you know? But like that's the thing that was pretty big for me. Like using this practice resets your hormones and resets the chemicals to a natural state in your body to the point where you're not like you are in your right mind. Like this is all about resetting your hormones. This is all, like the same thing with my period. It doesn't hurt anymore. and it's definitely not as bad. Um, but the whole point is to reset your hormones, to reset naturally your chemical imbalances. People think this is a huge misconception, actually. People actually think that there is, people take, yeah, that there is like no way to naturally reset your chemical imbalances. And everybody says this. Everybody says that chemical imbalances can be fixed with synthetic medication, and that's why they're like, "Oh, take your medications, guys. Daily reminder to take your medications because I care." But that is a lie. That is false. That is completely not correct because they're using synthetic medications when you can actually reset your hormonal chemical imbalances. You can reset them in a natural way. People think that it's too hard or not possible to reset your chemical imbalances in a way with natural remedies, with herbs and fruits and vegetables. Like, I don't know why people reject that idea. So you would rather take a synthetic medication rather than using herbal treatments to do the same thing but better, but with less side effects. It's like, really, you can't honestly sit there and tell me that. You don't need medications. People think that you need medications. You don't. You need herbs. You need organics. You need to be on your natural hormonal cycle with the moon if you're a girl and the sun if you're a man. That's all natural. It's not going to give you nasty side effects. It's real, it's natural, it's the way that you're supposed to be. But people are just like, no, synthetic is easier because you can just take a bunch of synthetic things and it seems like in a little pill and it seems easier and faster, but it's not like it's side effecty. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Like you can get really nasty side effects from that. That's instant gratification. It's you're not actually trying. You don't get it. You gotta try. You can't just do instant gratification and expect you to get no side effects. I hope that spoke to someone out there. I hoped that helped change your perspective because you can't just like take pills all day and expect you to be okay. You can't. If you want a nutrient, if you want a vitamin, you get it from the natural source. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. It's nice. I do like it. Um, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever go back. Now that we're further along in, I'm just like, wow, I actually can't believe it. There were some things that just took me by surprise, some sensations, some really positive feelings, some really like positive, creative, beautiful emotions and feelings that took me completely by surprise from just plain being natural. I don't take synthetic medications. I think those are nasty. They make you sick. The thing with synthetic versus natural, synthetic is has a chemical structure of something that is very similar to natural, but it's not exactly the same because they can't achieve it the way a natural can. So that's really something that you got to remember. Synthetic is similar but not the same as natural. And everybody knows, even if you change one molecular structure, even if you change one little thing, it could be a completely different chemical. So, yeah, really just sit there and think about that if you're having questions. Um it's not really an option. Yeah. Some teachers okay, all right. Some people actually do reject the idea of veganism because maybe, some of the people who teach veganism, maybe they don't teach in the way that you like. And so people don't like their teaching style, or maybe they're not expressing themselves correctly, or I don't know. People just tend to disregard the entire practice, but it's like, oh, my family is sick and take your medication and all this stuff, and like, oh, I'm having these problems, or yeah, or like I'm struggling with addictions. Like that, the thing that I said about the smoking, like, yeah, imagine your friend like has like drug addictions. Like, okay, I said drug, I don't care. But like, guys, hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? This is it. Like, you gotta try it for yourself, but people hear the word vegan, they're just like, oh, did you say vegan? Get out of here, stupid. But like, guys, 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 I actually feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, people just reject it. It's not really an option though. Like this is for everybody. Like I can see how this is like a one size fits all. One size fits all treatment for like basically everything and anything you can think of. Um Similar to the way cannabis works, but we're not using cannabis because even when you're doing this practice, you don't even need to use cannabis because we're doing cellular rejuvenation to the point where you don't even like need it. Like it's actually better than cannabis. Imagine that, because like cannabis can instantly stop a seizure, right? But if you're practicing this new diet, you don't even need cannabis because yeah, your cells are getting rejuvenated, um, which I thought was really, really, really interesting. Um, so yeah, I feel just really positive. I just feel really like this feeling of a clean love, like beautiful, unbeatable. Like I wrote this when I was fasting too. I was like, I feel euphoric. It's mainly in the tea. Okay, there was like yesterday I didn't drink any of the alkaline tea, and I could feel like the cravings coming back. But as long as you have that alkaline tea and you're drinking it like at least 2 cups every day, you're just gonna be feeling euphoric, euphoric, euphoric. It's wow. It's better. It's better. You would get like excited, like when you do like when you're just like going about your day and working and stuff. Like you have like a minute to yourself. Like you just come back and do an inner check in. So you kind of just feel yourself for a minute. When you have like a minute, you kind of just like feel like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, whoa, I can't believe it, guys. I can't. This is actually working. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, all right. Over time, this diet has made me feel pretty confident about the safety of this method. So I know a lot of people are scared, like, oh, you're gonna get deficiencies, and like I said, there are cell salt deficiencies. I think I mentioned it in the first video, and I'll mention it again. You know, like it. Here, let me see. In the first video, I had cell salt deficiencies by your zodiac sign. So people born under these signs. I would I like to do my sun sign first, and then I go all the way down to Pluto. Of course, all the signs, your full birth chart. I like to do your full birth chart. Okay. If you're worried about deficiencies, believe it or not, your zodiac sign actually has a deficiency. So I'm a Gemini sun, so I eat more apples. And you can tell too, like I'm just like I'm loving those apples right now. Or like all the time, anytime, I'm just loving apples. I don't know why. It just is good. I also like having mushrooms, and my North Node is in Leo. So when I eat cherries, again, cherries are not in season right now. You need organic cherries. You can buy them frozen. If you can't find any of these things, either like order it online or like buy them frozen. Like I said, Whole Foods has a better like frozen selection, and then Sprouts has like some frozen, but Whole Foods is a better selection of frozen fruits. But like, yeah, if you're worried about deficiencies, I kid you not. I kid you not, try this. But yeah, my North Node is in Leo. I've had cherries, and I just like the first time I did that, I was like, wow, whoa, whoa. I love that. I love it, love it. Yeah, so if you're scared about trying this, it's probably the government trying to put fear into your mind. Of course, that's why a lot of um, people are just like, no, I love barbecue. I love this. I love eating cheese or whatever. Um, and when people hear the word vegan, they get aggressive, they get angry, and that's what the government wants. The government wants us to be against each other. The government wants us, of course, there are a lot of satanic elites that are trying to do population control, or they are just greedy and they want money and they want it's like all connected down the grapevine at some point, but they want us to be going against each other. They want us fighting each other. They want to make us think that the opposite gender is the problem, or people with certain diets are the problem. And they want us to be divided rather than united. Because if we start uniting as a society with each other, and we start working together rather than against each other, then then we're going to figure out like what they're doing wrong and go against them and like fight back. So yeah, the whole point is the government wants us to be not fighting them back. We have to fight them back in this way. They can't like control what we're putting into our bodies. Like I can go to the store and buy whatever I want and eat it. Like they can't control that. The only way that they are able to control it is to be like, oh, what, veganism? That sounds stupid. That's boring. That's lame. It doesn't even taste good. I like grease or whatever. But, like, guys, hello. Wake up, sheeple. Yeah, they have gotten good at mind control techniques, and they want to make you afraid. They want to make you afraid. So the way that like modern medicine and nutrition work is like those classes, those university classes that teach you about like eating healthy and eating balanced, and oh, you can have a little meat sometimes, or you can have a little of this sometimes, or you can have a little cheese sometimes. Like they're lying to you. That's yeah, the thing that I said about moderation, they're using like things like moderation to like get to you, to control you. Like, oh, it's moderation, it's fine, it's only a little bit because you're not eating it all the time. Or like, yeah, you can't have cake all the time, right? But you can have a little. But like, you can't even have a little. So they use moderation to like kind of mess with you, to think like, oh no, it's fine, it's not that bad. But it is that bad. It's not fine. And people are like, oh, what? People can't understand that thing. And I'm just like, oh man, your problem. That's how the government gets you. The government controls your mind by doing that exact thing. Like, oh, a little is fine. Oh, you can have a little, it's fine. It's okay. Like, no, it's not okay. Not even a little bit. Not even sometimes. Nope. Nope. Okay, you could moderation is okay if you're thinking like you can have a pizza one time a year if you're vegan. Now that's real moderation, okay? That's how they get you. That's how they get you. You need to understand how dire that is, like how like important that is. That's how they get you. Okay, another thing that I found with the whole veganism and stuff. So when you're drinking all these teas, you have to pee a lot. So it's kind of a good idea to either like slow down your tea intake, like slow it down a little bit, space it out, or um, prepare to have yourself like around a bathroom or something. Yeah, try not to like just like gulp down tea all day. Kind of like pace yourself, because you're gonna need to find a bathroom. I need to go. I need to go. I need to go. So just like take it easy. Take it easy. Slow down. Make sure you're not like constantly drinking. Um, don't give up on practicing spirituality. You need, if you don't like someone's teaching style. So say for example, you're like, say for example, you see a person wearing a tapestry, wearing flowy pants, and like having dreads in their hairs, and you're just like, oh no, that's not my style. But that doesn't mean you should stop practicing spirituality. Okay? Just because you don't like the teaching style, just because you don't like the teacher, doesn't mean that you should stop altogether. Well, like, that person's wearing dreads, that person looks like a hippie, that person looks like a stoner. That's not me, so I'm not gonna do it. That's just because that's just one of the many, many, many teachers, okay? Maybe you don't like dressing in tapestries, okay? Maybe you don't need dreads in your hair, dreadlocks, you don't need that. That's fine, but that doesn't mean, you gotta stop. You can be like a completely, like, you can even be like a businessman that's like, you could be like a business person that's wearing a suit every day and you can still be spiritual. So don't be fooled by like looks and all that. Consistent practice and energy cleansing is worth the time and effort. It just takes a while, You're healing yourself and you're healing your mind, your spirit, by using mathematical and symbolic position of the planets and season in the most natural way. Okay? Symbolic, mathematical equations, and, planets, positioning, seasons. So the planets all represent things and energies. Of course, the zodiac signs are connected with the planets, and they all represent different types of energies. So when we are in specific seasons, and when the planets are in specific positions, they hold and represent types of energies, different energies. So it's good to like read up on that and like understand where we are in the year and what type of energy practicing that you should be doing, which I can go into later. Like, I can actually go really in depth into that and like show everybody. But of course, like, there's plenty of guides online. Like, everybody like is kind of talking about it right now. It's like popular. But of course, this is me just doing my review. Of course, this information doesn't belong to me. I'm not Dr. Sebi. I'm not the author of the Celestial Tablet. I'm just saying this is a review. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm trying it. Oh, you have something new and spiritual? I'll try it. I'll see if it works. And if it works, then it works. I'm just gonna be here to be like, okay, well, I will be proof. I want to be proof. Later, we'll go over the moon phases, planetary retrogrades, and Wheel of the Year holiday and practices to do at certain times. Of course, certain practices at certain times bring certain results. You plant seeds in the spring, you harvest by the winter, right? You can't plant in the winter, depending on what it is, and expect like a good harvest. You get the idea, okay? You get the idea. It's a little frustrating that that spiritual teachings are in riddles and religions, okay? Because a lot of people fight over religion. A lot of people have like different opinions, and a lot of spiritual teachings and the truth, it's all riddles, and it's all like hidden, okay? Hidden knowledge, riddles. And it's a little frustrating that like they don't, like, the spirits or whatever, whoever the higher ups, the most high, they're not just straight up telling you. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I guess it's like a duality thing, I guess. Why don't you just tell us? We went through all that drama, all the wasted time, all the pain, all the drama, when you could have just told us. All the riddles, okay? You have to solve my riddle to get past the bridge. Okay, just tell me. Like, okay, really, just tell me. And so now we have all this confusion. Everybody hates veganism, and everything is just falling apart. Okay, that's the most frustrating part about that. So when you change what you're eating, of course, when you're eating meat, it doesn't have the same energy as like a fruit. So when you're eating meat, it's like dead energy. So I don't know why people like have a hard time believing energy is real, because the signals that are in your brain are electrical. When you tell your hand to move around, that's electrical signals going through your brain. That's why we wear copper. That's why we take Ormus, because those are metals, and that's how electricity runs through your brain to like tell you what to do. So people are just like, oh no, energy isn't real. Energy working, spirituality, energy working isn't real. It's like, how? You just moved your hand. You just thought about it. There's no other way to actually think or move without electricity running through your brain. Okay. So like I don't really see how that works for some people, but I mean, hey, we're getting there. Okay? We're going to try. I mean, I guess whoever understands, good job to you. Whoever doesn't, I mean, I guess you can stay there and be sacrificed by satanic elites. So, I mean, that's cool. Have it your way, I suppose. Um, so, yeah, so when you are eating clean like that and you're eating things that are not dead, so when you're eating fruits and vegetables that are alive, they have real energy flowing through them, and it's not dead like meat. Meat has like a lower energetic thing, and then fruits and vegetables have a higher energy. So you need to charge your body. Of course, when you have electrical currents running through your brain, you're going to need to charge your cells like a battery, right? So when you're eating things with no charge, like meat and cheese, that doesn't really have a lot of energy in it. But when you're eating fruits and vegetables, it has perfectly good, clean energy to be using. So I think that is pretty easy to understand. Okay. Um, if you guys can't understand some of these things, then I am sorry. But hopefully we can get enough people to start practicing in order for people to say like, hey, you know, maybe it works a little bit. Maybe I should try it. Maybe you should try it for yourself. Feel it for yourself. I swear. It's actually pretty interesting. Um, so this helps you raise your frequency so much. That's what they mean like by raising your frequency, is just like having cleaner energy running through your body. So when the earth moves into different signs over the year, it becomes easier for you to shift through the more difficult signs. Say for example, you know, I'm a Gemini sun, but when we get into Capricorn season right now, like last year was pretty difficult for me. I didn't like it. But yeah, Geminis and Capricorns are not very good signs for each other. They're too different. Um, but this year, I'm interested to see by the end of Capricorn season to give my review on, okay, so this Capricorn season is like a little bit easier for me. Last year was pretty rough. But this year, you know, it's already going pretty all right. Like when you're an ascended master, you can take on the energy of every sign even when it's not in your chart. So when you do your spirituality practice, like I don't have any Pisces in my chart, but sometimes I can take on the energy of Pisces. Sometimes. So like that's pretty interesting to understand when you're having like a hard time at certain points of the year. It's pretty useful, okay? Yeah, I can teach you the entire practice over time. I can teach you all of my practices, everything. I know there's like a lot of people that can teach you everything too, but like I'm gonna join in. Of course, what we're trying to do here is heal people. We need to heal, we need to heal. We need to get people aligned. We need to have people heal their chakras so we don't have all those crazy people and disasters and drama and criminals and mental illness and all those dark things. Um, we don't need that. Yeah, we don't need to do all that. Like, you can actually just skip it all. Like, I see a lot of people talking about a lot of drama and like, oh, this person did this and this person did that. And it's like, oh, wow, we could have just like skipped that whole thing. It's kind of funny to think about. It's like, oh, wow, that was completely unnecessary. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people that teach the same things as me, and then there are also things that people that I know that people don't mention. So, of course, we're all teaching, from tarot readers to magical practitioners. from like people who like are witches, you know, people who call themselves light, well, like white witches, energy workers, anything like that, like Reiki healers. They all know things. Like sometimes they know things that I don't know. I know things that they don't know. So we're all kind of like putting our information out there to try to help each other learn. Of course, yeah, I know things that a lot of people probably don't know. I know things that people don't mention, and I will structure it and come up with a course and a lesson. I will come up with my lesson in my class to teach you all. Like, there is one thing that people don't like. They're not talking about this one thing that I do know, and it's pretty cool. I can't wait to show you guys something. It's about using a. I'll just say it like it's about using your abilities. So the author of the Celestial Tablet, everything on the Celestial University, so the author of that, he's like, oh yeah, I can use like telekinesis, and I can use like my hands to move things a little bit. Okay, my vibrational frequency, my spiritual practice is so good that I can actually like have my powers like manifested on the 3D in smaller forms, which is exactly what I said in the beginning. Okay, so which is exactly what I was talking about. And I can, the thing is that there's like a list. This guy doesn't realize like, yeah, we know like there's like an actual list of all the abilities. There's sub abilities. Um, it's called like Zodiac Empowerment. You can just Google it up real quick, and then they have like your Chinese New Year and your abilities for your Chinese New Year. I am a Chinese New Year rabbit. Okay, so I have like, yeah, super speeds. I'm a pretty speedy, fast person. Okay. Um, yeah, like okay. Deficiency where, I don't know. I'm sorry, that was another thought. I'm a Gemini, so I have an ability called divided mind. So the both of us come and like contribute and like come out and we switch. But I can teach you how to use all of that and like understand it. Okay, understanding controlling light and dark energies to improve your life and everyone around you. The vibration of the entire world is very important. Okay, yeah. So it's basically we are just doing a gigantic restorative healing practice. Okay, that's important. We all know we need it. Don't underestimate the power of that. Oh, but like that's a lot of information on another day. Um, so yeah, I went a day without having the alkaline tea. That was yesterday. Nicotine cravings were really noticeable. I was eating all day. I felt pretty depressed. I was thinking like, yeah, maybe just one cigar. Maybe we'll just run over real quick. But I didn't do that because I knew like I didn't want to mess myself up right here because I already did all that work. I'm already like so far into it that I don't want to mess it up. Then I decided to have some alkaline tea instead, and I waited about an hour, and everything was gone. All my cravings were gone. I felt like okay when you don't have the alkaline tea for a day, you can actually feel the receptors in your brain. They're looking for something to grab onto. And then when you have the alkaline tea, the receptors in your brain you can feel like that little click like oh it now it has something to grab onto. Now your like brain is getting fed. That receptor is like actually has something in its place now, and you're not feeling that craving. So of course I'm I'm all air sign, so everything that's like happening in my brain, I'm like heavy air sign, 5 placements, all 3 air signs. So I when it comes to anything happening inside of the brain, I can feel it very, very, very well. So I know exactly what's going on up in there. So which is pretty useful for me to be able to teach you what's going on. And of course, Geminis have another ability called mental manipulation or perception manipulation, something yeah, mental manipulation. I am a pretty good teacher when it comes to this. I can try to like help restructure your mind and manipulate the way you think in a healing way. So that's what I'm trying to do here. See if I can do it a little better than some of the other teachers. Or yeah, maybe if you just have a different type of teacher with a different style, maybe you'll be able to learn it better. Of course, everybody learns a bit differently. Or maybe like a lot of those teachers who teach spirituality, they're like earth and water signs too. So maybe it would be better to have like an air sign. Yeah, maybe an air or fire sign would be easier for you. Because I know, like, those earth and water signs, they've been killing it though. They've been doing a really good job. But as me as an air sign, I'm so intelligent. I have to come and help. Okay, I gotta come and do my thing. Um, we gotta be killing it too. Air, fire. We gotta be doing something too. Okay. Um, so yeah, the cravings were gone. I felt more emotionally balanced, and my anxiety reduced. Um, I felt before I had the tea, I was like starting to feel pretty insecure, but yeah, I have the tea, give it more time, felt confident. Speech and creativity is flowing much better. You're not focused on like your cravings and your addictions and all those things. I feel more motivation. So the only thing is like when you're craving something, when you're when you like want addictive substances, when you want that, like just have your tea. Just have another cup of alkaline tea. I swear, without the tea, like it gets really hard. But it's like it's natural. Like it's all natural. It has like soursop leaf in it and like burdock root and like elderberry. Like really, that's those are all natural, safe, whatever. It's not like harmful. It's it's not like nicotine where like if you smoke a bunch of cigarettes and then you get lung cancer and like you start coughing up black stuff. It's you will never have that. Like that's not what this is. Okay, so yeah, for migraines, use a copper triangle put on your head, or like you have some copper jewelry. Do sensory deprivation. Yeah, period early. Get back on full moon next time. Not bleeding as much. Not as much pain or fatigue. Something hard for people to understand. It's easier with real practice. Addictions can be very tempting. It seems like nothing can be better than those things, but with practice, like it's hard to like. Yeah, you need the tea. That's all this says right here. The alkaline tea, because like trying to calm down your addictions without the alkaline tea is pretty impossible. So I get it. I felt that. Yeah, this is just like saying like yeah, this is really important for people who are struggling with addictions. Like, guys, the alkaline tea is the key. Because if I didn't have my alkaline tea today, if I didn't have any alkaline tea, I'd be like, oh no, we're going to the store. We're going to go pick some up. Like, we're going to go get a pack of cigarettes. Like, I don't care. But since I've had my alkaline tea today, I don't need that. This is insane. This is insane. But I will be back later in a few weeks um, with more interesting stuff. I will try to like teach you more of my practices and I'll try to get some more things together. I'll just try to spit out all the things that I know that people aren't talking about. I'll try to keep it original because like I know you can just look up a video on anything and there's going to be someone that teaches it. So I'm going to try to make it something that you never seen before. I'll try my best. But yeah, thank you so much for sitting with me and we will check in again later. Thank you. Bye.